your team, it does look like you have some experience pretty specifically to video, but kind of the capacity and experience in the video space, and how many team members are dedicated to this, and how many do you have, and how many could you have if we wanted to accelerate the progress on this?
Yeah, our company focused on the development of the video conferencing platforms and online medicine platforms, especially. Also, we're working on online education platforms and sometimes different platforms for video editing and everything related to the streams, video streams. So our company is growing significantly from year to year, and now we have over 100 people in company. So developers are JavaScript developers mainly, also we have iOS developers, Android developers, and some PHP developers, because we're still supporting some PHP platforms. As you see, yes, video streaming platforms are our main sphere of development. Sometimes we're also working on different entertaining projects, such as, for example, apps for sport, or what else? Maybe different dating apps as well, but it's just a few projects.
Okay.
So, as for the team on this project, we have 4 developers. All of them are experienced, and as you see that the platform is working properly now in comparison to the state that it was in the beginning of the last year, for example. So also we have 2 testers on the full-time work, 1 designer. She is working when it is necessary at the project. Also, this year we planned to ask our business analytics to join the team as well, in order to provide better analytics for the requirements and to reduce the time for development, because in that case we will have more detailed requirements, and it will be easier to understand from the very beginning what we need to do, and will reduce different changes after the development.
And okay, so just sorry, I just want to make sure I'm following. So you said 4 developers, and then you mentioned 2 or 3 other people. So is it a total of 4 people, or 4 plus I think 2 QA and a designer? Can you kind of clarify that?
Yes, we have 4 developers plus 2 QAs plus 1 designer, and me as a project manager. And from this year, we plan to add a business analyst as well.
Okay. And are all of those people full-time on this project, or what's their kind of allocation to this project?
Developers and QAs, so 6 people are full-time on the project, and other people work as it is required.
Okay.
For example, when we need to create some designs for the platform, we ask the designer to do that. When we don't have any task for designer doesn't work at the project as well.
Sure. And so about how much are you billing a month on this project, in total hours?
Well, for this year, you mean? Or per
for over the last month or 2, I guess. That's something I can also get back to Craig with. I'm just thinking about it, as we're talking. Okay. Okay. I see. But it is in QA right now, right? Is that correct? Eh, Okay. Oh, got it. And then, so we can go through the past billing, that's fine. And then, Evangela, can you tell me, I'm sorry, I don't want to mispronounce your name.
Eugenia.
Eugenia, okay, great. Can you describe, can you give us any details on your QA, the two QA people you have and their process, if it's automated at all, or it's all manual? Can you kind of walk us through some of that?
Yes. How the testing is going on the project. So we have test cases for the platform, and we're following with these test cases in order to check all the changes that we are making on the platform. We have regression testing when, for example, we are going to launch, or when we are updating the platform with an update that includes a lot of the things. For example, for a long time, we didn't update production server, and all the things stayed on the demo server. And when we updated production server, we made regression testing in order to check the whole platform functionality and see whether everything is okay or not. Well, also we have smoke testing after each update, and all the time we're testing the platform. Once we add any fixes or any improvements, we have development environment, testing environment, and these two environments are on our own server and demo environment. As a pre-production, it's on your server, and once we update demo, and Craig and the team checks all the updates. Once we receive confirmation from them that we are allowed to update production server, we push the update to production.
Okay. And can you tell us a little bit about your infrastructure? Is this hosted, like on AWS, or do you have, physical servers, for the dev team? And, what kind of tools you use? Do you use GitHub, Jira, those types of things, the different tools?
We're using GitHub, Jira for our internal processes. For external processes, we're using usually different services that are convenient for customers. For example, here on the project, we're using Trello board for tracking the progress. Also, our own servers are our physical located servers. We don't use AWS, but for production servers, we are usually using AWS, and we recommend it for clients because it's very convenient and it has all the required services in it.
Okay, and so do you manage the production platform, or is Craig and his team doing that?
Now we're managing the production platform, and we're supporting it. In case you need to do anything there, you can always connect us. Also, we provided to Craig and his team the scheme or the architecture of the project, just to know how everything is working inside the project. And in case you need any more information, just ask, we'll provide you.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure if you haven't, Craig, if you could make a note to give us that architecture, or send that to me. Okay, and then how do you protect your different clients' IP, right? Or do you reuse code, from one project to another? Can you describe kind of your internal philosophy and controls for, customers' IP and code?
We don't reuse the code from one project on another project. We're working on each project individually. So the code, it's always the client's property, let's say this, and we provide the source code to the client fully. So you're the owner of this code.
Okay. And does Craig and his team have access to the Git repository for this project?
Well, the last time we pushed the code, it was when the doc, if I'm not mistaken, was on the project, and after that, we didn't push any code to this Git because it wasn't secure. So now, if you provide us any new Git repository, we'll push the code, and you will be able to access it and review.
Okay. And what security has been built into the platform? And I guess as part of that, what type of security expertise does your team have on a project like this? And I'm talking about the security of the application of itself, right, from a customer standpoint.
Well,
our customer standpoint.
As for the security, I think it's better to discuss it with our lead developer, because I'm project manager and I'm not experienced
Sure.
in these things so deeply as the developers are. And if you have any technical questions that you need to be asked or to have any technical information, please could you provide us the list of these questions? We'll just send you all the required information, or we'll organize another meeting, for example, and I will ask the developer to join it as well.
Sure, that's fine. And do you, with your other customers, I understand that you're kind of the platform of the relationship between Craig and his team and your team is through Upwork. Do you ever, with any other customers, move to a dedicated contract, that's just directly between you and the customer? So, in this example, directly between your company and Craig's company?
Well, yes, I'm working with other clients as well. I have 2 more projects, and I'm working for Forestsoft, and Forestsoft has a contract with the PVM.
Okay, so Forestsoft, does Forestsoft ever move from kind of the Upwork relationship to a direct relationship with a customer? Does that make sense?
Explain.
Sure. So my understanding is that that your company, that Forestsoft, is working with Craig's company through Upwork. Is that correct?
Well, I think yes, because I'm as a project manager, I'm only focused on the relationships.
Yeah, you don't get involved in that. That's fine.
Connection with the clients, but I'm not responsible for any. Yeah.
Sure, we can. I understand. That's
me as a project manager.
Yes.
Don't have these responsibilities.
Yep.
And everything related to the agreements or money, it should be asked with
Yes.
sales manager Paulina or Nikolai.
I understand, and no problem at all. Hey, Ted, glad you can make it. Thanks. Eugenia, Ted Roth is a business associate of mine that we've been involved in various things, and so I invited him to join. So I think at the high level, those are the main initial questions I had. Ted and Paul, do you have other questions while we have Eugenia?
So the test cases you were talking about, those sounded manual. Is that correct, or are they automated?
No, they are not automated. We are updating them manually. And because earlier the platform was not so huge, and it was possible to update it and manually maintain them. So, but from this year, we wanted to suggest you to create automated testing. And of course, implemented, because the platform is growing quite fast now. So anyway, we'll need automated testing as well.
Gotcha.
Now, Eugene, I might have missed the beginning, but who's setting up the project design, the actual feature map rollout? I mean, is it already in place with Craig, or are you just, how are you determining what features to add and what the design of the end product's going to look like?
So, for example, for this year, we haven't yet discussed the roadmap for the product. We just sent to Craig the list of suggestions that we suggest to work on this year and what features we suggest to implement this year. So now it is under review with Craig team, and so once they confirm the things that they decide the most important one for this year, I will create the roadmap with the estimations, and you will see all the when we will start working on each feature and when we plan to finish this work.
So at the beginning of the project, Craig, was there a project roadmap to begin with the end goal of what features you wanted to have and who you're competing with and what features you're going to try to add that differentiate? Is that kind of
That's right. I should have it. And is the list that Eugenia mentioned that they had put together, is that something, is that? Okay, great.
Craig, just quickly, so are there customers that are using it today that you're getting feedback from for this project rollout or the product feature rollout or not? Okay. No. And how about from the team point of view on your side? Is it friends and family team working on it, so you're getting some kind of? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Where would you say, what version are you at right now? Is it beta? Okay. Okay. So version.
So it's pre-customer, so.
Yeah, okay. That's
Okay. And what languages is it? Is it all in JavaScript, did you say, or?
It's JavaScript.
Uh-huh.
Everything. The back end is TypeScript or what is it exactly? Is it Node.js?
Node.js, yes, as well.
Oh wow.
And the front end as well? So that's the only. Go ahead.
Yeah, what frameworks are used on the front end?
Well, I will need to ask the developers as well about that.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Alex, well, I'm not able to bring him now at the meeting because it's quite late here in Russia, and our working day has already finished.
Okay. If that's something that you could get back to Craig with, so we don't have to schedule another call, but just to confirm I guess two things off the top of my head. Just confirming that all the languages and frameworks that are used, kind of front to back, and if there's, I don't know if there'd be any databases on the back end or anything, and then also. Any security measures from our customer standpoint, right? From a user standpoint, what security measures and thought processes have been incorporated, and if they have any suggestions or ideas on what should be done there, if there's things that haven't been done in that area.
Okay, I will provide you this information.
Where are all the developers based?
In St. Petersburg.
St. Petersburg? Okay. Thank you.
And then just out of curiosity, what time of the day do you guys typically meet with Craig's team, that works for you guys?
Well, we have weekly meetings every Thursday at 10 Eastern.
10 Eastern, okay. All right. Okay, that's reasonable. Well, we appreciate you taking this call so late. In the future, any future calls, it wouldn't be a problem to make it at that 10 o'clock Eastern time. Ted and Paul, any other questions? While we have Eugenia?
No.
Eugenia, what would be the best way for us to learn about other areas of expertise that some of your key people have? We're thinking about some ideas in the general telecom space, in voice, artificial intelligence, some of those types of areas. Do you have expertise in those areas, or know someone on your team that would be better able to to share with us? It would be good for us to know what you guys are really good at, or what you're best at, your team overall.
Well, if you have any specific questions related to the spheres, you could ask us and we'll provide you all this information, or you'd like to talk exactly with these people.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Can you tell me?
Not all the staff in the team speaks English.
Sure.
That's why, yes, usually the project manager is a contact person between the team and the client.
Okay.
But anyway, we could provide you all the information you require.
Okay. Just out of curiosity, do you have any, kind of more voice telephone type projects, messaging projects, or kind of voice to text projects? Or do any of those, come to mind that projects that you've worked on?
You mean voice recognition?
That's one area.
Yes, we have some projects related to that, but as I don't work at that project, I don't know now.
Sure. No problem.
What state of this feature, but I could ask my colleagues.
That we can put together a list of kind of other questions like that that would be useful reference. But okay, well, Paul and Ted, if you don't have any questions, I think I'm good. And again, thank you so much for your time so late, Eugenia. And your English is excellent and certainly better than any of our Russian, that's for sure. But,
thank you. It was nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yes, please send us all your questions.
Okay. Great. Okay, thank you all so much. Thank you, Craig, for setting this up in your time. Okay.
Great.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.